Um, as I said, Hygen Park is here with us tonight, and we are very fortunate that we have a special guest from the Outreach College. I know last time we mentioned Outreach College, but I was able to connect with her and she was able to make time to be with us tonight. So I am very excited to introduce to you Jenna Komatsu. Jenna grew up on Oahu and has been working at UH Manoa for 18 years. She aims to make UH Manoa educational opportunities available to pre-college students, K to 12, so they can benefit from the university's resources and have enriching experiences at the state's flagship university campus. She is a graduate of UH Manoa's master's program, Educational Foundations, and is currently pursuing her PhD in Educational Administration at UH Manoa. So please help me give a very warm welcome to Jenna tonight. And I'm going to turn it over to her so she can start sharing with you some of the things that Outreach College has, as well as what she knows from her vast experience is available. Okay, Jenna.
Aloha, everyone. So nice to be here with you. Um, yeah, I had the pleasure of meeting Lisa, and I've known Jin Park from before for a long time before this current job. So it's a treat to be here. Please, it's very casual. If you have any questions, please go ahead and ask me. But I understand that you folks are interested in learning about um, college experiences that your student might have before graduating high school. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay. So, Outreach College is the only non-academic college at UH Manoa. So I think there's 17 colleges, like the College of Engineering, the School of Business. We're the only non-academic college, and we do things like summer sessions administration, which is a little bit different from fall and spring, um, and community outreach for the arts, things like that, continuing education. Yeah. So I'm in the summer sessions group, and I have some programs for high school students that are both credit. I have credit programs, meaning they'll come in the summer and they'll earn college UH Manoa credits. And then I have some programs that are what we call non-credit, and the students don't have, they're not trying to earn college credit. It's more about the experience for them. Um, and then recently we have some a program running during fall break and spring break called Muhe'e. That one is for students grades 7 through 9. So hopefully that will be available too. Um, that yeah, so Muhe'e marine science in the summer, the the experiential programs, unfortunately this year's we have one called medical diagnosis and treatment, and oh, summer scholar program, awesome. Medical diagnosis and treatment is out at JABSOM. It's a summer medical program, so they can get exposure to medical fields and just the healthcare pathway. It's very hands-on. It's 1 week long for full days, and this summer's program is full, but we've been running that for about 8 years now. So if students, let's see, if next year they're in grades 10, 11, or 12, then we can put you on an email list, and then the student can participate in the summertime. It's typically held in July, again, for just 1 week, but full days. And then this year's program that's not full yet, it's called Marine Science Investigations. Marine Science Investigations is similar. It's only 1 week long. This one is 9 a.m. to 3 from starting June 1st through 5th. So I think that's the week right after DOE is finished with the school year. Marine Science Investigations is held out at Moku'olo'e. in Kaneohe Bay, so that's Coconut Island. And the students love it. That one too is very hands-on experience. They get to see what it might be like to be a in that marine science field. The facilities out there are amazing. Um, but I wanted to hop on here tonight to see in case that's such a fun, enriching experience, I think, for the students. And we do have a few spots available, which is unusual. Usually we can fill up the class, but we have two or three seats available. And I think this program can really support the students in those seats. So I wanted to see if anyone here might be interested in that. Yeah. Is there anything else that you wanted me to talk about, Lisa, or mostly that one for this summer?
Jenna, is the Summer Scholars Program still available if they wanted to register and take advantage of that, even if it's not the first session?
Yes. So let's see, if they're taking classes in summer session two, the deadline is May 15. For session one, the deadline was April 15. So, and we do have a class. The challenging thing about Summer Scholar is that since DOE changed the academic calendar year, it overlaps with our Manoa session one, and then the end of session two kind of overlaps with the beginning of the school year. We have started what we're calling a midsummer term, where the dates are right in the middle, so it tries to align better with DOE. Um, if the students are available I mean, are interested in that. The start date for midsummer term is June 15 for a few courses. Lisa, maybe I can email you information on which courses are in the midsummer. And they can still apply until May 15 for that. Summer Scholar Program is what we call early admission. So high school students are admitted to a college and they join in with the college age students. So it's different from sheltered classes. Sheltered classes are high school students who take college courses, but in a sheltered environment with other high school students, often at the high school campus, that they're familiar with and they have more support.
Jenna, there's a question that if they wanted to take a class through the outreach college, what applications should they complete or what would they do?
Okay, great. Let me put a link in. Okay, so there's a link in the chat box. It goes to our summer opportunities page for high school students. And this is not an exhaustive list by any means. The university is big and has various projects, um, programs going on in the summer. The different um, units are running their own summer programs. If I can, I'm trying to put them on this page so people can connect to them through this page too. But let's see. If you're able to see, let's see, and you scroll down, Marine Science Investigations, right under the title and time, it says click here for the application form. So it's just a one-page form, and we're just trying to confirm that the student is in the correct grade level and that they have parent approval. Summer Scholar Program, which is the early admissions. So Summer Scholar allows the high school student to basically become a Manoa undergrad just for a summer term, yeah. And that one, if you click on the link, there's a whole page about instructions for how to apply. It's an online application. It's very similar to what they're going to be doing when they do apply to you, if they apply to UH system. And the whole idea behind all of these pre-college programs is to give students exposure and experience to all of these want to say tasks related to your college application, navigating the different offices. While they're still in like their home environment, they can have guidance from parents. They can have access to their college counselors at the schools, and they're interacting with university staff too, who understand that they're still in high school. And I'm just mentioning that because I have some parents of high school students completing applications for their child, which is not what we want to do. It's one way to be supportive, but I think not an ideal way given these programs. Yeah. So summer scholar. Yeah, yeah. Good question.
So Jenna, if I can add to that, as Jenna was speaking, I did click on the link on their webpage, and it goes into a pretty detailed list of courses that are available. Quite a bit, actually, if you look at it.
Oh, for
And
midsummer term for
yes.
summer
I
scholar.
mean, for summer scholars in general, there's quite an exhaustive list of classes. So that gives you an idea of what is offered every year, every summer. And, if you miss it this summer for first session, then you can start thinking and planning ahead. I will also share that I'm not sure, I didn't get through all of the classes looking at the list, but Native Hawaiian Student Services also offers summer courses, not as many for the high school students. I think she told me that in session 2, there is like maybe one course. But I will tell you an experience that I had with my nephew a couple years back. Um, this was when FAFSA opened late and they changed their system a little bit, their application. So a lot of people didn't get their financial aid packages in time. And UH ended up having a lot of students that had planned to go away actually stay back for their freshman year. Well, when it came time for freshmen to register, many of them couldn't get the English 100 class, and that's a requirement for freshmen. Fortunately, NHSS offered that class during the summer for summer, what they call Summer Institute. And my nephew ended up taking the class because they pay for the tuition, right? You only have to pay the student fees for Outreach College, which was about $300. So he took the class. There were only 4 of them in his class. Um, so he got that out of the way. But when it came to the fall semester, not even the registrar in NHSS, whose son was a freshman and my nephew's classmate, he couldn't even get into English. Like she couldn't pull any strings to get him into an English class. So, if your child has the opportunity to take a class and that's what you're looking for, I highly encourage you to take advantage of it. Because you just never know what's going to happen, that's going to change the climate of the campus and you'll be ahead. Also, I want to say that I've heard stories of adults taking classes through Outreach College. So a little bit different from having to apply and register and go through the normal UH process. Community people can take a course through Outreach College. And we've had some graduates in Hawaii Nui Akea, which is the School of Hawaiian Knowledge. Um, they've pretty much completed their entire degree taking summer classes through Outreach College. So think about that too. If you just want to take like 1 or 2 during the summer, because maybe you have some extra time, this also benefits you. Like I cannot say that we just take care of the kids. We take care of the entire Ohana. Yeah. So Rain says her son took Math 140X pre-calculus the summer of his sophomore year. He had to take a placement exam under UH Manoa Math Department since the class did have some prerequisites. Yes. According to her son, it's a 25-item math exam. You need to make 16 correct answers to be allowed to take it without the prerequisites. Yes, anything that's more than the entry level, you're going to have to take some type of placement exam, whether it's language, math, English. Um, but it puts you where you can comfortably learn, right? Because if you skip something and you miss the foundational part, then you're going to struggle. Where if you actually know what you need to know from, like, say, English 100 or math, then you can go on and you're comfortable in the next class. So that's a great way to test out of the entry level classes.
You know what though? So Rain, that's so cool because your son is aware that there's a placement exam, yeah? And a lot of students don't realize that. So in university environment, the sciences, maths, and foreign languages have placement tests, yeah, to make sure that the students are going into an appropriate level. It's not too easy, not too hard. They don't just sign up for some of these classes. They have to take the placement test first before they can even get registered for these classes. And just that your student is aware of that already, that's like leaps and bounds ahead of so many of them. That's great.
And there's no right or wrong. So they shouldn't feel bad if they don't test at a higher level. Like, there's no right or wrong to that placement test. It's really for their benefit. Yeah. Did you folks have any questions for Jenna? Anyone even interested in possibly trying to get an application in by that deadline for that class that starts right after school finishes?
The marine science investigations, yeah.
Well, I will share the information with our students, and I
See.
have a quick question. So what's the average cost for the 3 credit summer scholar course, program course?
Oh, um, cost is approximate is $1,500. So that's the tuition for a 3 credit class and a the term fee. Summer Scholar has a need-based scholarship of $1,200. Um, I should have mentioned, I'm so sorry. So Summer Scholar, this early admit program, it's open to students who are currently in 10th or 11th grade, and it does have a high GPA requirement of 3.5 cumulative. The reason for that is we just want to make sure that if they're with college students and nobody's aware that this is a high school student, we want to make sure they're going to be able to have a good experience, be able to keep up with both the social and the academic part of the college class. Um, so cost for 3 credits is about 1,500. We do have a scholarship for $1,200. Anyone attending private school and getting any type of financial aid, need-based financial aid, we don't ask them out. They would qualify for $1,200. And anyone in DOE qualifying for free or reduced price lunch would qualify for that $1,200. And then the one last thing I would want to mention, in the past we had an instructor for it's for Planning 101. This is within College of Social Sciences, Department of Urban Planning and Development. And he ran a midsummer class before, and he really enjoyed having the high school students. This year, his class is running in summer session 2, so that starts in July 6th. And he would love to have some high school students in it. So even if the last 2 weeks overlap with our DOE schedule, this he's going to work with the students. If they're in the first 4 weeks of class with everyone else, they will learn that part. And then if they cannot make it in the last 2 weeks, he'll work with them. And he said that that part is like individual project anyways. But I thought that was a really cool class in case someone's interested in what is like, what is planning, what is urban planning and development.
Wow, super cool. Thank you so much for mentioning that, Jenna. I think, do you folks have any other questions for Jenna while she's here? We will do a follow-up in the email that goes out after this session. We'll give you, we'll put in the links for Outreach College as well as just a reminder where to find those things. Jenna, thank you so much for being with us tonight. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, folks. Thanks for your time. Everyone take care.
Thank
Bye.
you. Have a great rest of the week.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. I am going to share some of the things that I also know of that's coming up in the summer. So normally I work with Napono EL full time, and we run a summer institute program that is separate from what Native Hawaiian Student Services runs. And this year we are not running our summer program. So I did some research to see, and I've been watching social media. So just some tips I'm going to give you folks to how to look for summer programs or even year-round programs as they start coming up. Okay, let me share my screen. Oops, this one. Here we go. Okay, so you heard what Jenna said, that normally these programs come out early, right? Sometimes they're released in the fall. They have save the date announcements, and then early spring, like in January or February, the colleges or departments will release their notices and their applications. So you want to already start thinking about, what are you looking for? Like your child, are they interested in doing college courses? Are they looking at credit courses or non-credit courses, right? Because as you heard Jenna say, the Outreach College, it's open to existing seniors, sophomores, juniors, and seniors, but they also need to have a higher GPA, right? So if not, then would your child be open to maybe a non-credit course, which some of the departments may have non-credit courses? Are they looking for internships, paid or non-paid internships? Like, what's the benefits? Of course, paid internships, getting a paycheck is always a huge motivator for people, right? But if you cannot get a paid internship, would you consider a non-paid internship? And why? Think about the benefits of a non-paid internship. As your child is building their resume, they're able to put that down as experience work. They're able to develop a relationship already with a supervisor, with peers who are able to then become references, right? So those are the benefits of even non-paid internships. Pathway programs, things like Jenna mentioned, the marine biology, the forensics program, those are pathway programs. There's STEM programs, there are arts programs, there's programs that maybe are with an INA group. A lot of them are out there, okay? And we'll talk about, like, how do you find out about those? Also consider, are you looking for something that's a residential program, which means it may take up 1 or 2 weeks of your summer and you're going to stay there, right? It may be on this island, it may be on another island. It might even be some type of exchange program going to the continent or a foreign country. Like, think about those things. Or are you looking for day programs? Because maybe your child doesn't want to do a sleepover type of thing. Okay. So if you're looking at a day program, then what are some of the things that you might find in day programs? Where do you look? How do you find them? Um, Sign up for newsletters. I can tell you the easiest ones right now. Sign up for the NHSS newsletter. Just Google NHSS, and it's going to come up with their webpage. And I'll have the web link on here in a little bit. But sign up for their newsletters. They put community announcements in there, which means all these upcoming summer programs get flyers in there with registration information. Search on social media. Social media kind of like follows you around now. Instagram is probably, I would say, your first one that you'd want to look at. Maybe do a search for high school programs or summer programs. Even put in search words like Summer Institute. Anybody heard of P20? Okay. P20 is a program that helps students connect with college campuses or higher education, especially if they're like first generation college students or they're interested in careers that are very needing local students to go into. Okay, so even look at the P20 page on Instagram, search Facebook, those types of things. People are always posting their flyers on there. Check with their school counselor or advisor. They may have connections to summer internships that are not publicly posted, but there are businesses or the colleges that collaborate with specific schools. And check with the community groups in your areas, places like the farms. If your child is interested in an INA-based type of internship or INA-based education, some of the farms during the summer will take interns. They may not be paid internships, but hey, you can put that on the resume, and that goes a long way. Okay, this slide has the NHSS link, and I'm actually going to have them share this slide deck on the website so you can click on it to make it a little bit easier. But like Jenna shared, there's a bunch of courses in their Summer Scholars program. I know for high school students, when I spoke with NHSS, they had one course in session 2 that would be appropriate for juniors and seniors. So for their classes, you have to be a junior and senior. But remember that $1,200? They pay for that just outright. The class is free. All of their courses that they offer is free. So you might want to also look at that to see. Another one, if they're looking for work experience, City and County of Honolulu has their Summer Fun website up. And up to 13 years old to participate in Summer Fun, but older than 13, they can apply to be a junior leader. Also great to put on the resume. Okay, anybody have any questions, or you have an experience or something that you've seen that you wanted to share? Oh, one other thing that popped into my head. Have you folks heard of Liliuokalani Trust? It used to be Liliuokalani Centers, but now they're just called Liliuokalani Trust. They have that beautiful building on Ward. They actually have a summer program that's going to be running. That's a residential program. And I believe their program is maybe in 2-week increments. I got an email about it. But if you search for Liliuokalani Trust, and I think what I'll do is I'll add some slides on here with those links. They have a summer program that's running, as well as Office of Hawaiian Affairs has a Na'opio program running, Aha'opio Alakai, and it's a 2-week residential program. Then the deadline to apply, they extended the deadline to May, The deadline to apply is coming up really soon. I happened to glance at that as I was scrolling through Instagram today. So if you're interested, I know those two are still taking applications for summer programs, residential programs, focusing on leadership for the Office of Hawaiian Affairs one, Aho Pio Olakai. For Liliuokalani Trust, their programs have a variety of programs, but if your child is interested in like creative media type of thing, that's their forte. Rain, did you have something that you wanted to ask?
I'm just looking forward to receiving the links for those
Okay,
resources. Yeah, it's for my second one. I think he would be interested.
yeah. Okay, any questions? I do have some reminders, and I also have the link to the feedback form for tonight. But my reminders is if you have not filled out your WH1 form and you meant to, please make sure that you fill that out because the Project Hokuleni team is processing those and getting ready to mail out the gift cards. If you haven't done the feedback form, so remember, this is our 5th session. If you haven't done the feedback form, all 5 of them, make sure you go back and either watch the videos if you missed the session and do the feedback form, or if you were in the session and just didn't do it, make sure you do it. We want to make sure that we get those out to you and that everybody who's eligible for it can actually receive it because we have all the paperwork. So in the chat, I did put the link for the W2 form. And then I'm also going to drop the link for the feedback form for this session in there. Let me just copy that. And if you want to go ahead and do the feedback form before you leave so you don't forget, you're more than welcome to. By the end of the week, you should receive another email that gives you the information with the link to the webpage, and it'll also have the slide deck on there. If you don't want to wait until the end of the week, I'm just going to type in the chat the 2 summer residential programs. Trust. You can Google, just type that into the Google, and you should be able to find office. And the other one is Office of Hawaiian Affairs. Aha. Oh, yeah. Okay, let me see. Jin, are you able? It's saying that they need access. I copied the link.
Oh,
I'm wondering if I can, yeah.
I don't have an access to the back end about it.
Okay. Oh, my apologies. Our data person is probably not working, but I'm going to shoot her an email tonight once we get off and let her know that it's not giving you folks access. It doesn't give me access either. Sorry, I'm not the person who can wave my magic wand for that. But that was the link that she had put on the form that she sent me. So I will shoot her an email and let her know. And then please check tomorrow, maybe towards the later morning, just give her some time to get through her emails. But if you folks have any other questions, I'm going to work on putting those links in. If by chance, you think of something, you have a question, I am going to put my email in the chat. I know you folks probably have it, but I'll put it in the chat anyway. And if you would like to get added to the Napua no Eao email list when we send out our summer announcements and we sometimes send out resource announcements, then let me know as well. Just drop me an email and ask to be added to that email list, and I can do that as well. For the NHSS classes, those are held at UH Manoa. If it's a virtual class, then yes, I believe they can take it. But for most of their classes, they try to do it in person. I know last year there were a couple that were virtual on Zoom, but for the most part, the classes were in person. Okay. Any other questions? Otherwise, I'm going to let you folks go. And thank you so much. This is our last session for the spring. So be on the lookout for any other announcements. But it's been such a pleasure having you folks with us. Thank you so much for making the time to be here. And I look forward to one day meeting you in person. That would be the ultimate for me, to be able to meet you folks in person with your keiki. Okay. Aloha.
Thank you so